Hi, welcome to Meet a Theater Pro. My name is Stephen Gary, South Coast Repertory's Development Assistant. What does a development assistant do? Well, the development department at its core, we are the fundraisers of the theater, and we fundraise throughout the year in a variety of different ways. Anything from grants to campaigns we do either through the mail or email, to events like our opening nights that we call our first nights here at South Coast Repertory, or our annual gala that we throw each year to help launch the new season. So my job as a development assistant is really to be there to support all those fundraising efforts throughout our department. So my role looks different each and every day. It can be from processing to acknowledging gifts that come in, to assisting our donors with anything they may need, or assisting our special events coordinator with the management of those events. So you really get a nice variety in this role. What is the most rewarding part of your job and why? Definitely working with the people. And by people, I mean everyone from our incredible donors that we have. It is so reassuring. I have been on many phone calls during this time, and you feel the outpour and the love of this theater. Talking to them, they are some of our biggest supporters, and they share stories with just how much SCR has meant to them throughout many decades, and that is so inspiring, and that has helped lift my spirits through this difficult time, and it's such a joy getting to work and getting to know so many of our biggest supporters at SCR. And then also the people I get to work with at SCR. We have incredible people, not only in our department, but throughout the theater. And it just makes it a joy to come to work each day, to not only have such a passion for what you do, but also to be around people, both the supporters and those who work for the theater, who also believe so passionately about the art. What has been the most exciting event you've worked on as a development assistant? Our annual gala, this was the first one I got to do last September, and it was an incredible experience getting to see it from just an idea to its complete execution. It was such a joy getting to work with departments across the theater, as well as our gala committee. We leave no stone unturned. It's from deciding napkin colors to the band, to the theme, to how to fundraise for it. And really what our mission here at SCR is to reach out to our community, and our gala is such a great way to not only do that, but to celebrate all that we do here. How did you train or prepare to be a development assistant? I took what's known as the scenic track while I was in school. I took about 9 years to graduate, and there were lots of gaps in between that. And I started as a psychology major. I didn't know much about theater at the time. It wasn't until I saw an incredible show at the Kirk Douglas Theater called Girlfriend that I fell in love with it so much. And back then, I didn't really know what jobs existed in theater. I knew you had actors, I knew you had directors, and I knew you had ushers. And I didn't think I could do the first two. So I really just wanted to be an usher for the Kirk Douglas Theater. So I went online to figure out how I could do that, and they weren't looking for ushers at the time, but I saw an internship opportunity to be a production management intern at the Kirk Douglas Theater. And I had absolutely no idea what any of that meant, but I knew I needed it. So I applied, and I poured my heart out into this cover letter, and luckily I somehow got it, and I am so grateful to this day. And that internship with Center Theater Group for the Kirk Douglas Theater was my first exposure to all the jobs that exist in theater. It is so much more than what you just see on the stage. It's all the administrative support, all the backstage crews, the production teams. It takes so much, and if it was not for that internship, I don't think I would have realized all the jobs that are in theater, and that is ultimately what got me to switch majors to theater. That was also my first exposure to what a development department is. I didn't know what they were at the time. And so, going through school, I would do more internships. I work at the Pasadena Playhouse for front of house, and I did an internship over the summer with the LA County Arts Commission at International City Theater in Long Beach, and that internship was for development. So it was my first chance actually getting to work in this field, And I loved it so much because I think when you are passionate about this art form, it's almost infectious. So getting to share that passion with, our donors and our patrons, it just seemed like a really natural fit. So, the experience or to prepare, it was just a bunch of internships through so many theaters that are out here in this area. We're incredibly lucky to be where we are when it comes for those who want to work in theater. We hear you're a bit of a theater super fan. What genre of theater is your favorite and why? It's true, I do love the theater. I try to expand my horizons. I love, getting to see new plays, and that's what's so exciting about South Coast Repertory is that we're at the forefront of so many of those new plays. But I'm also a softie. I love a good contemporary pop musical. I think I'm indebted. I love Wicked. It was the first professional production I saw when I was 15 years old at the Pantages Theater in Hollywood. And I have since seen it 20 times, which I agree is not nearly enough. But other musicals I love tend to fall in that genre. Those pop musicals like Kinky Boots, I love Rock of Ages, Mean Girls, and my current obsession, which is Beetlejuice, the musical. What has been your favorite SCR play and why? This one is really easy for me to answer. In fact, I'm almost notorious around the theater. I loved our 2018 production of Kings by Sarah Burgess. Kings is a comedy about lobbyists and the inner workings of that field. And I saw Kings several times while we did it on the Segerstrom stage. And I loved that play so much because I think, not only was it really funny, it was also so thought-provoking. And I think it is a testament to what, I think theater does best, and that is teach us something new. I didn't know much about lobbyists before I saw Kings, and Kings was a great eye-opening experience to really see the world through their eyes. I think what the playwright did so well is she kind of slaps you right in the middle of that world in terms of the jargon and the inner workings of it, and I just loved that play so much, and I felt like I learned so much at the same time about what's going on. And, I still quote it with many of my friends to this day. I loved Kings. When you're not working at SCR, what are your favorite pastimes? I try to do different hobbies. I'm currently trying to learn to play the guitar. It's going, it takes a lot of practice. My fingers are definitely feeling it. And now with the stay-at-home order, I've had a lot of time to practice. But I still need a bit more. If you weren't a theater pro, what occupation would you be? If I wasn't working in theater, I like to believe I'd be an English teacher. I have a very peculiar obsession with grammar. I am by no means perfect with it, but I love knowing the origin of words and the proper usage of words and knowing the differences between using words, and I just find it also fascinating. I listen to grammar podcasts on my, in my spare time. I've read an entire book on the semicolon. I have grammar books all over the house. I really have a love for the language, and I also really liked writing and essays in school, even though they were really stressful. So I like to believe I would be doing that. What are your recommendations for passing the time during this time of social distancing? I've been going out for a lot of walks. I think it's nice to, clear your head. I go out by myself and I either, I put on a grammar podcast or I listen to Beetlejuice. I also try to reach out to my friends a lot via phone calls. It's been really nice getting to just talk on the phone with people. And also, I've been going through movies. I never considered myself much of a film buff, so I've been trying to see movies that I've always heard about, but I've never had the chance to watch, and that list is quite long. I just recently watched the Back to the Future trilogy. I've just been trying to expand my horizons that way, and, we're sort of given more time right now to do that stuff, so I'm trying to take advantage of it as much as I can. Well, I want to thank you all so much for giving me an opportunity to share a little bit about what I do here at South Coast Repertory. I hope you are all staying well, and thank you for watching Meet a Theater Pro. I'm Stephen Gary, South Coast Repertory's Development Assistant.